YOLO free people of YouTube. So I want to talk to you guys today about the war that's going on right now in regards to controlling your mind and how you are in society. Okay, and this has been going on for some time now. And I'm gonna give you some clear examples off the get-go. Okay, so what happened with Alex Jones and his trial, right? First of all, he's a conspiracy theorist. Two important words: conspiracy and theorist. First Amendment of the United States gives you the right to free speech. It gives you the right to think freely. You know what else it gives you the right to do or be? It gives you the right to be wrong. It gives you the right to talk about things that are your opinion, that aren't mainstream, that aren't popular, that's against the grain. It might be theories, it might be crazy theories, and it might be absolutely wrong in every sense of the word, from physics to religion to belief to the natural world. You can be wrong. That's the beauty of the First Amendment. Mike Tyson, Hulu just did an entire thing about Mike Tyson's life without giving him a penny, without asking him for permission. You're talking about Mike Tyson, who was potentially almost a billionaire at one point, who's still a wealthy person. He's a household name, right? With a bunch of lawyers, bunch of everything. And if they could do that to Mike Tyson, to do that about Mike Tyson's life, right? This is beyond like making a fake Instagram account with Mike Tyson's name and pretending to be Mike Tyson. This is way beyond that. This is literally taking someone that's alive and creating an entire story and narrative based on whatever you want, making tons of money on it, and completely throwing to the side the actual person that exists, even though it's completely about that person, including titled about that person, right? This is crazy, dude. And I'm gonna say a lot of stuff, man. Like, Hollywood loves to rape its actors and actresses, literally, physically, and theoretically. It's crazy, man. Including what happened with Andrew Tate, right? Andrew Tate, one of my friends put me on to Andrew Tate. And when I heard him, man, in complete honesty, I'm not a fan of Andrew Tate. I'm not a fan of him at all. But you know what? He makes some points that hit home. He might be right less than he's right. I mean, he might be right less than he's wrong. Or he might be wrong more than he's right. Either fucking way, he has a right to express his opinions, right? But the problem was that he was going against the grain. He was going extremely anti-feminist, agendas that are going on in the background about transgenders and all the craziness. He went old school on this shit, right? He went old school, like, you know what, I'm a man and I'm gonna bone as many chicks as I want and I'm gonna do as I please, and there's a natural order, and woman, go make me some sandwiches and whatever the fuck, whatever, right? But he has a right to say this, and you as a free person have a right to listen to this. Doesn't mean you agree. doesn't mean you're on his side. Like I said, I've heard him, and I think he's a little over the top, and I'm not really with it. But banning these people is so un-American. It's crazy that you don't even realize that they're making you go against your American standards, right? It's like they're picking these people out, feeling it out. All right, if we ban this person, we do this. How are they reacting, right? How are the people reacting? Do they care? Do they not care? Do they care about actual freedom, or do they care about what agrees with them, their opinions, their beliefs, right? Okay, so if we can ban the people that aren't catering to the masses, so okay, that's one step. What's the next step, man? They're slowly infringing on our rights, dude. They're literally infringing on our rights. It's crazy. And they started with the Second Amendment, and they felt it out. Okay, we'll ban this, we'll ban that, we'll ban that. And now guess what they're doing? The First Amendment. Do you think they're gonna stop there? Of course they're not gonna stop there. When it comes to torturing people, your right to a lawyer, your right not to incriminate yourself, right? The Fifth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Third, the Eighth, the 10th, the 6th. Dude, they're slowly gonna erode all of what we believe. And it's all happening in Hollywood, man. And I'm gonna tell you guys, it's happening through a whole bunch of movies. And it's happening... I'll back up a little bit, man. And I'll back up into human psychology, all right? Human psychology, because I studied psychology. By no means am I a professor in psychology, but I studied psychology enough to understand how things work in regards to the human mind. And the average human mind, okay, we as human beings, we are not, through instinct and through historical events, we are not indoctrinated into this concept of something destructive is coming towards us, and it's coming slowly. It's coming extremely slowly. We are not adapted to this concept of, you know what, we're gonna chip away at your life just one piece at a time, 1 month at a time. Where, on the contrary, instinctively, throughout the ages, we've developed this concept of direct threat. Like, you broke into my house and you're a threat, so I'm gonna kill you. Okay? You're a mountain lion that is trying to eat me right now. Direct threat. So I have to kick in my fight, flight, or freeze mechanism, right? We're not used to this concept of slowly just, you know, that concept of, like, if you throw, like, supposedly if you throw like a frog in boiling water and slowly boil it, it wouldn't notice that it's getting boiled. I don't know if I actually believe the actual boiling the frog thing, but that idea of, if you just slowly turn up the heat, they won't notice, right? We are not adapted to that. We are not those creatures. We're actually very primitive in our thinking towards a threat to our way of being, our life. And they slowly started eroding and corroding and dismembering one piece at a time, man. All these movies you watch, anything that's jail or prison related, all these actors, these masculine men pretend, you know, they're pretending to be these masculine actors, and they're, you know, going through the movie, and they go to jail, and every one of them get raped. You watch all these movies and you see someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-800, the Terminator, sent from the future to the past. Fucking, he's giving birth as the first dude that got pregnant. And if you guys remember this fucking movie, this is under his belt, man. He had a movie where he gave birth. Mr. Olympia, Mr. fucking perfect physique. Like a Greek fucking statue physique, godly in nature, is on the silver screen giving birth. It's fucking crazy, man. And Dave Chappelle said it, man. It hit on the Oprah Winfrey interview that, it hit me that all these guys, all these powerful black men, they're trying to put them in dresses. And the minute they tried to do it to me, I said no. Well, if I remember your first movie or the first popular movie, which was what, Half Baked? You were in a dress, bro. You were already in a fucking dress. What are you talking about? You name name a mainstream action hero, a masculine individual, and tell me you can't pull up a Google image or a movie scene of them being feminized. And what do I mean by feminized, right? Like, because this is an interesting word. We gotta kind of dive deep into this shit. When we talk about like makeup, high heels, all these kinds of stuff, right? You have to understand, in history, it was men that originally wore this stuff. Makeup was originally for men. Like, if you look back into, let's say, the Egyptians, right? King Tut and the pharaohs and all, they all had eyeliner and lined up eyebrows and stuff. It was dudes that were actually using makeup prior to women. If you look back into like the Beethoven days, right? Bach, the Beethoven, they all wore, I guess you could call them high heels, right? They wore these stilts like type of shoes where it made them look taller than they actually were. But let's fast forward to the modern times. In modern day today, okay? I'm not talking about like kilts. I'm talking about modern day society, dude. Women wear dresses, women wear skirts, women wear high heels, women wear makeup, women do their hair long and curly and nice. It's women that do all this stuff that we find feminine, right? Times have changed, right? The lack of change killed the vampires. I don't know if you guys ever heard that statement before, but times have changed. Dudes don't wear dresses and skirts. Dudes don't wear eyeliner and extensions and dye their hair and wear high heels and certain colors like pink and all this stuff. Which, if you're about that, just say you're about that. It's all good, man. Live and let live. I don't give a fuck what you do. You understand what I'm saying? But let's look at the reality, man. Why are they presenting all our so-called heroes as feminine? Why are there homo characteristics involved with these actors? I don't care who you... The Rock. You can see him fucking cradling that one short comedian, kissing on him and shit. You can fucking Google it. Whatever his name is, man. Like, I don't care who. Almost all of them, dude. Stallone. You look at modern day Stallone, dude. His eyebrows are better done than some of the women I've been with, dude. Like, How is that fucking possible, man? You're Rocky, right? You're supposed to be Rocky, dude. You're supposed to be this rough and tough, and Arnold Schwarzenegger with a cigar talking about girly men and this. Dude, you gave birth on screen. What are you talking about girly men for, bro? What are you talking about, man? And now we got things like She-Hulk, Bruce Banner's cousin turning into Bruce Jenner. Dude, like they're messing with your heads, and do you guys see it? Because I see it. It's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. Which, look, like I said, the First Amendment, it gives you the right to express yourself, to think and feel as whatever you want to present it as, man. You want to go get a whole bunch of makeup and plastic surgery and look like a cat, purr like a cat. All good, bro. Live and let live, man. Just stay the fuck away from me purring. You know what I'm saying? But let's be realistic about the situation at hand, man. The situation at hand is that they're trying to mess with the psyche of the people, man. They're trying to masculinize. They're trying to make women more masculine and males more feminine. Don't mind my stutter, man. Maybe I had a beer or two. I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna cruise around the neighborhood because I'm old school like that. I don't give a fuck. Thank God for Uber. Ain't nobody gonna pull me over now, right? So, but what I'm saying still stands, man. Like, someone said, some smart dude once said, we give the people their heroes, no matter who it is. You're talking about Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X's, Tupac's, Gandhi's, Mike Tyson's, Michael Jordan's, Michael Jackson's, fucking whatever the fuck ever's, right? They're gonna give you your heroes. From Ron Paul to fucking Drew Paul, whatever the transgender dude, whatever his name. They're gonna give you these heroes, man. They're gonna give it to you. They're not gonna let it come up naturally, man. All these people, they're just part of the fucking system, man. It's part of the propaganda designed to fuck with your mind. And this video is probably gonna get banned because there's too much reality in what I'm saying. There's just way too much reality. And the reality is, those in control do not ever want to relinquish control. Those in control want more control. They want control over your lives. They want control over your finances. They want control over your decisions, over your votes, over your ideas, over what you are against, which is more important. Because if they have control over that, they get to control what you protest against, what you decide not to fund financially, right? Because your money is a political thing, right? Whatever you spend your dollar on, it's a political decision. Like when you buy a car that's fully designed, created, established, built, shipped from China, and you purchase that, you don't realize it, but you're financially supporting this idea of international trade. You're doing that with your dollar. You're voting for it with your dollar. And it's your right to do so. That's why there's a lot of these car companies, for example, like Toyota will make a certain, like, let's say, for example, which I don't know to be true, but let's say the Highlander, or I'll say BMW, because it's German. BMW makes X5 in USA, right? Somewhere in the USA. I know X5 is built in the USA. And Chevy makes a certain, like, let's say the Tahoe, for example, which I don't know to be 100%, whatever, the Tahoe, the Camaro, the whatever, right? It makes that in Germany, so that at least you're still supporting U.S., even though you're going foreign, right? This is done to kind of mediate this concept of, it's got to be a give and take. It can't be just we take and don't give, right? Like, it doesn't work. There needs to be some type of balance. But your money, man, it's a political tool. You're voting every day by what you buy, from the type of fuel you buy, from the Twinkie to the Twix to the whatever the fuck ever. You need to realize, man, like, your mind, there's been a war towards controlling your mind, your thought, your actions, your purchases, your decisions, everything, from who you're with, how many kids you have, where you live, what you drive, what you own, what you wear. There has been a war to control that for eons, from the get-go, man. Religion, government, social constructs, you name it, man. From fucking the bottom of the barrel to the tip of the iceberg, okay? From fucking street gangs to global elites. It's all controlled. It's all systems of control. And you need to be aware of that. And very few people are. When I studied psychology, there's this stat that 95% of people are like sheep. They can't think for themselves, no matter how much you try, how much they try. 3% of people think they think. And only 2% of people actually think for themselves. So you have 2% of society that's actually thinking for themselves, deciding for themselves. 2%, man. Where do you fall in this? Odds are you fall in the sheep category, or if you have some type of ego or self-esteem, you fall in the 3% category. But if you really do think, you fall into the 2% category. That means that you're completely aware that you might be wrong. You're completely aware that what you think might not necessarily be your thoughts. What you know might not actually be factual. From basic math, sciences, to everything we've been taught, to the most extreme, might not be real. It might not be factual. It might be just another diversion. Only 2% of people are comfortable enough to think that, you know what, I might be completely fucking wrong. But you know what, I'm gonna think for myself, and I'm gonna take in as much as I can, and I'm gonna try and decode as much as I can, and I'm gonna do me how I feel like I need to do me. And in order to do that, you need to educate yourself. You need to self-educate yourself. Whether it be in history, whether it be in science, whether it be in theology, religion, whatever sciences, especially psychology and all that, man, that's going to open up your mind to another level. Psychology is the way we humans function and the study of it. It's not just about the mind, man, because the mind is just another tool. It's just another muscle. But when you start studying psychology, when you start studying history, you start seeing repetitive, what's the word, man? Repetitive, and you're gonna start seeing symmetry, and you're gonna start seeing whatever, man, repetition of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look back in history, dude, if you were to just look at the 1920s and you look at today, a lot of the stuff that happened in the 1920s is actually happening today. I'm not even talking about the 10s and 30s, just 1920s. Google 1920s and what they had to go through with the economy and viruses and whatever the fuck, right? Like, dude, history repeats itself, and it's by design. It's not by accident, it's by design. And I suggest you start looking into basic human psychology, how people act, think, and why we think and act the way we do. Start looking into human history. The main events like World War I, World War II, how things happened, without try and put yourself on the sidelines, man. Don't pick a side. Just like opening the Bible for the first time, man. Try not to approach it from the brainwashed perspective. Open it and read it for yourself and try and gather what you will. But you have to put some sort of objective, questionable stuff to it, right? Like, you can't just question it. It's a healthy thing to question things, man. Put a healthy, questionable perspective, right? Ask the questions. Don't be shy to ask why. The most important question ever, man. Little kids do it all the time. Why is this like this? You answer why. And then you answer them why. And then you answer them. You ask why enough times, man, you get to some fucking crazy fucking answers. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna end this at that, man. So, YOLO Bolo. I'll see you guys later, I guess.